Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to import models, add-ons, weapons from source 1 over to source 2. For this example, we're going to be taking a Garry's mod add-on, importing it over to S&box, probably what most people are trying to do right now. So first things first, you're going to need a few tools. Obviously, you'll need the S&box editor, you're going to need Blender, and you're going to need VTF Edit. Now, I just use VTF Edit Reloaded because it has further support for Source 2. So anyways, first things first, we are going to want to go to our folder that has the model. As you can see, I'm trying to import a Galil and open up Blender. Other thing we're going to need here is SourceIO. It's an add-on for Blender. So if we go into import, Source Engine Assets, this is where SourceIO comes in. This is a import option from SourceIO. Go over to MDL. Alright, we're going to scroll down. See if we can find our Galil. There it is. Alright, now that we have our Galil, see it there. Don't need to change anything over here. Don't need to delete anything. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Export, FBX, and I'm going to pull up my folder here. And I'm just going to paste it in here. It makes it easier having multiple Explorer windows open when you're trying to go back and forth from everything. You don't want to have to keep digging in folders. Anyways, I'm just going to title this Galil. It's going to go Galil to FBX, export the FBX. Alright, so that's first step done. We have our model as an FBX file. That is something that's going to be readable by the Source 2 or S&box engine. So next thing we're going to do here, we're going to open up VTF Edit. We're going to go to Open, close that. All right, and then we're going to go to our models. Where are we at? All right, we're going to find our material in our materials folder. If you're extracting a GMA, it's going to give you these four folders: materials, models, particle, sound. So we go to materials, and this one, it's kind of buried here. Let's see if I can find it. Again, this is why having it open is helpful, so you can just copy the link and find it. And here we are. So we're going to go down, see if we can find Galil. All right, here we are. So we have two files here. First one is the model texture. Second is the normal map. Just going to open up the texture first. All right. I'm going to go to export. Now I believe you can do a target file .tga, but just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to do a PNG. I'm just going to copy this link here because once we try to save it, it's going to change the link that we open up in. Alright, so let me copy where we're going over here. Galil V. Alright, save that. Close this. And like I said, this is keeping us in the exact same folder we were at before. So if you have something like Ditto here, it's a clipboard manager. You can easily recall the path we were in. Open up the normal file now. If you don't have a normal file, some of them, like some parts of guns, won't have a normal file. So if you don't have one, you can just skip this step. But most of them will. So we'll hit export again. Again, we'll copy our link over here and just save it as a PNG. Alright, next thing we're going to do, open up S&box. Now make sure if you are editing something in S&box, this is just a beginner's mistake, everything needs to be in the project folder. You can't save those PNGs to your downloads folder. You can't save that FBX file to your desktop or anything. It needs to be in the project folder, and by default that's in your documents folder and then S&box projects. Alright, so we'll open up Galil. Gonna do two new materials. Actually, sorry, we're just gonna do one new material. Just gonna call it Galil Craft _V. kind of just keep it with the naming scheme. I know I didn't get the _v on there, but it's fine. Anyways, we're gonna right click, open up an editor. All right, and so if you have your File Explorer open on another screen like I do, or you can just put it on the side or something, you can just drag the textures onto this right here. And again, these are by default target files, but you can use PNGs, it's fine. So you drop the texture on the top, and you're going to drop the normal where it says normal. Go ahead and save this. All right, then we can open up our FBX. All right, we're going to hit create model, and we can just hit create. That's going to create our VMDL file. That's the new source2.mdl extension. So once we have that, we can open it up in the editor. And this part really confused me. So you're going to go to the default material group list. We're going to uncheck globally replace all materials in model. Like if you have multiple materials, multiple VTF files that go for a model, if you uncheck that, it'll list all 4 of them here. So for example, just real quick, if I go over to this dark night, you can see I have 4 material files, 4 different pictures. If we open up the VMDL, go to our material list, there's 4 different materials. And you'll just want to match them up based on the name. So let's go back to our editor for the Galil. Gonna click this little magnifying button, go into weapons or wherever you have it stored, find the VMAT file, open it, then hit this little needs compiling button. That's going to compile it all. So if we scroll in here, there you have it. You have your weapon with the materials. The last thing you need to do is just script it. I'm not going to go into that because there's tons of different ways you can script it. We're just going over importing models and materials from source 1 into source 2. Alright, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them down below, or my best recommendation would just be to go into the S&box Discord. Some people there can be toxic. I don't go in there. I like doing shit on my own, but, if all else fails, just Google it. That's how I figured it out.